dirty word to a lot of people. Just ask Allen Iverson. When a lot of people think about practicing the guitar, they automatically default to running up and down scales, memorizing dots on the chart or diagram, things like that. Just not really fun. I mean, who wants to sit there and do things like this? It's valuable, but it's a little enjoyment in something like that. So the way I kind of like to approach practicing is in a different way. I mean, all the memorizing stuff is valuable, but, you know, last week I put out a 1-5-6-4 chord progression on how to be a rhythmic guitar player / lead guitar player. You should check it out. I'll link it here. But that is just an example of how I like to practice, because what you heard in the intro is also a 1-5-6-4 chord progression, but just in a different key. And that is what forces me to think about the fretboard in completely different ways. It tells me or teaches me to look at different inversions and how to play different chords differently, and it leads to different sounds. It's a lot of fun in my eyes. So if that sounds interesting to you, then this is going to be the video for you. So we are in standard tuning, and if you're ready, let's go ahead and get at it. My name is Keith. Welcome back to the channel. All right, so welcome back. Again, like just to reiterate, last week I put out the video doing 1-5-6-4 in the key of A. Here's a little glimpse of it if you didn't catch that video. Right? And what you heard in the intro was also 1-5-6-4, but in the key of D instead, right? This is my D. Same thing, 1-5-6-4 chord progression, but it sounds a lot different because I'm doing different things. Why is that? It's because I'm playing different inversions of these chords, and it forces me to kind of think in a different way. So let's kind of try to wrap our heads around that. I am going to be putting up charts and diagrams in this video, so they are available for free on my Patreon. All you have to do is be a free member. Patreon is a wonderful way to support the channel, but if you're not interested in that and you already shop at Sweetwater, I do have Sweetwater affiliate links. They are in the description. But let's go ahead and get at this whole thing here, and we're going to start off with the chord. So let's jump down to the fretboard and learn this key of D progression, 1-5-6-4. So we could play D in many different ways. Got a D here, you know, you got the C-shaped D right here. Nobody really does that one. Well, maybe they do. D, and then a D here. It's an E-shaped D. So the D is the first one. What is the 5? The 5 would be an A. Oh, you got an A here, but I'm already up here because this is where I want to play the D. The A would be right here. C-shaped A. Then the minor 6 would be a B minor. And then the G would be the 4, right? So we got D, A, B minor, G. Okay, so now that we got those chords down, let's kind of run through this whole thing kind of slowly, and I'll point out all the pentatonic scales that I'm using, and we're gonna go through that and I'll explain it all. All right, so starting with this D, I'm gonna run up that diagonal pentatonic scale with this D. That's all I did. Then I'm backing up so I could set myself up for this A, the C-shaped A. And then from here, running down a pentatonic scale. And I'm stopping right here because this is part of my B minor. If I stopped anywhere else on the way down, and if I stop there, then go straight to the B minor, it won't sound as good unless I resolve right there. And then since we're in that B minor, the E-shaped B minor, this is our familiar pentatonic scale. kind of minor pentatonic scale. We all know and love that. So let's go back here from this A. And I'm doing the B minor. Notice the grip that I'm doing here, the Jimi Hendrix grip. I like doing that because it allows me to immediately do things like this instead of going like this. It's just an economy of, you know, as little movement as you need to do in order to get the sound that you want. How do I do that? You bar the top 3 strings with your index finger, and really with your thumb you just need to bar that low E string and then mute that A string. Throw your ring finger on the D string. That's all you need. We're just cutting out this A string. And then from there, right? That's a very common blues lick. So again, from this A, let's start from the D. Then to that A, B minor. Then I'm going to roll back down and find my way down to the G. I love that, these double stops. And then from there, what do we have? A C-shaped G, right? So we got a... Let's pause right there, because in the last video, or was it the last video? It was a couple videos ago where I did the Wind Cries Mary. The C shape is so ripe with double stops. Just hold your C shape right here. You can let go of your pinky there and just... and do things like that. And then... now we're back down to the D. That was kind of quick. Let me slow that down one more time from that double stop. Now I'm back in that G. This is part of that G triad. We're back in that G. Do our little lick there and then just hit that G string and then all 3. And that's our D, right? G-shaped D. So all you really need to do from this double stop is that. And then you have it all. Let me run through the whole thing kind of at a slower tempo and call things out, and then we'll move on. So we have D, up the pentatonic scale. Now we're in that A, running down the pentatonic scale. Now we're in that B minor. Then we're doing that blues lick. And then we're going to roll back down with these double stops. Now we're in that G. Do our double stops there and then end on that D. And what I did just for fun, out of that D you have these 6. Just for fun. There you go. Alright, so I did promise that we're going to look at this in different inversions. So instead of playing a D here, there's different ways. Just find your other Ds. You have a D here. You have a D here. And like I said before, you have that C shape D there. So if I have the D here, got an A there. Then a B minor, right? What can I do there? G would be the next thing. Sometimes you start off really simple. Identify the triads, you know, work your way up and down with the different inversions, and then just bang away at it. Annoy the hell out of anybody that lives with you and puts up with you playing guitar, because, you know, you have to think about it sometimes. And eventually, when you think about it enough and work through it, then it'll all come together and sound a little bit better than it did when you started, of course. After that, just find common chord progressions. Again, 1-5-6-4, common chord progression. I have videos up about chord progressions. I will either link them here or just redo them in a better way. But in any case, just pick a letter, right? A through G. And let's say I want to do something in the key of A, and I wanted to stick, instead of just doing the boring 1-4-5 chord progression, 1-5-6-4 progression, or 1-6-5-4 or something like that, and start off in A, right? Well, I already did the A in the last video, and I did a D, so what if I start off something with a C? Figure out where I could play these C's, so A, B, C. Then a G would be the next. Right? It's just, there's so many different possibilities. It's endless, but it's fun. This is the funnest instrument in the world. So in any case, I hope that this was helpful. It was, then like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff, and I will see you next week. Thank you. Bye.